Yeah, I know, right?
I'm more pissed about this than I was about the Washington loss last year.
Yeah, this one was bad. This one was really, really bad.
Like, I don't
I
think it's
mean,
like season changing or like morale changing. It just was just,
no, and not even that. There was money on the
bro.
line.
Nobody can make field goals. Buffalo just missed a field goal.
That just makes it worse. Makes it worse. But it is what it is. Post game, Jets stun the Eagles. Let's fucking talk about it. We don't. We don't. Oh, I feel like I want to say welcome, but I really don't. Like we just going to get into it. Y'all already know what it is. Your Philadelphia Eagles lost to the New York Jets today, 20-14, in a shocking loss. One of the worst losses that I've seen, the worst, and probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, upset of the season. You could probably argue the Browns today, right?
Yeah,
Missed field goal, had a shot, but this was an outright loss. We looked terrible. We looked pitiful. This is Moss Money. This is Money Pop Podcast. I got the homie with me, and we brought some yak with us to talk about what the hell just happened and what did we see and what we just saw. So, dogs have been barking all day, bro. It was bound to happen. We know it happens, but man, what a week for it to happen.
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah,
Like really, Jalen? Three picks and ugly picks. They weren't pretty. They were bad interceptions. I mean, right two guys. Like, what are
Well,
you
hold on,
looking
hold on.
at?
Well, hold on. That's not true.
What?
That's not true. I'm going to defend Jalen on this one. But
Okay, go ahead.
I'll let you finish. I'll let you
You're
finish
going to
the intro.
defend Jalen on this one.
I'm gonna defend Jalen on this one. But you can
Oh,
finish.
okay.
You can finish what you were saying.
No, you already cut me off. You might as well go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm saying, yeah, it was 3 interceptions, 4 turnovers total for the Philadelphia Eagles. But your guy here, your guy here,
Don't give no, don't do that. Don't give me that. I told y'all bullshit. Don't nobody want to hear that shit right
House
now.
Honor. I told y'all this was the
Don't
ultimate.
nobody want to hear
This is
that bullshit
the
right now.
definition. If I can write, if I can change the definition right now in the book, it would say example Philadelphia Eagles at Jets. This was the definition of a trap game, and it played exactly the way it should have played out. Unfortunately, and I'm pissed off about it because I thought we were smart enough. I thought we were led better to allow this to happen because I figured all our vets would be able to kind of, you know, get back on track and really focus on this game before we got to the meat of our schedule. This was what you call an ultimate trap game, and it played the way that I thought it was going to. And it seems like um, it's a dog week. But
It is a dog.
Going back to Jalen Hurts, you got to think about those 3 interceptions. I'm going to give him that last one. That was very bad, very ugly. He did not see that middle linebacker over the middle. He threw it and he thought it was there and it wasn't. Boom, he got it picked to the, picks almost a pick six. The other two, he got one. He got his arm tipped. That ball went up in the air and flopped up in the air. That's one of them. And the other one was just an unfortunate bounce. He threw the ball right, and I don't know who was supposed to catch the ball. Was it Devontae or was it Goddard that dropped the ball, pops off his hands, and it gets
Got him.
intercepted by Goddard, and it gets intercepted by Williams. I mean, besides those, I mean, yeah, they're going to be underneath his stats as interceptions, but besides the last one, I can't really blame him for that. Um, but I'm just pissed off more at the preparation. I'm pissed off at the game plan. It just was unacceptable the way we played today's football, and we got out of character. And our winning football is running the football. We've showed that week in and week out. That's why we're the number two rushing offense in the NFL, with averaging over
Yeah.
160 yards rushing per game. There's no reason on this planet that we were 8 carries handed off to our running backs
Right.
in the fourth quarter. 14 carries total in this game to 45 dropbacks. That's only 45 attempts. We're not even talking about, let's say Jalen Hurts ran the ball 8 times tonight. Let's say half of those were dropbacks already. So let's say that was 4 non-run calls. It's just unexplainable. And this is why we were able, or I'm sorry, the Jets were able to stay in the ball game and able to just wait and wait and wait for the right opportunity. And then we gave it right to them. But
No,
that's
we
what
did.
happened.
We
Bad
absolutely
game
gave it
management.
right to him. I can't disagree with that. C Sharp, what's up, bro? Go ahead.
Yo,
I
C-Sharp.
feel I feel it on your face. You want to say something? Go ahead, Sharp. What's up, man?
Well, it's just how my day's gone. My headphones aren't working. It is what it is. It's just has nothing to do with me. Obviously, I just kind of how Diddy was last week in college. He was due for some bad games. I was cooking in NFL this year. I was due for some bad games. Obviously, those games have nothing to do with my bets. It's just how it goes. It's money pot betting. As for the Eagles, I couldn't disagree anymore with Diddy. I think the game plan was solid. I think the preparation was solid. They were ready to play. Our team did not come out flat. It was guys who make a lot of money, first-round draft picks, guys who make $40 million, tight ends who make top 5 money, that put the ball on the ground and put the ball in harm's way. When you're in a 4-minute offense, people don't want to talk about that last play call. When you are in a 4-minute offense, there is a built-in run check to every quarterback. You are a $40 million quarterback. You get to veto the play caller. Nick Sirianni, if a rookie play caller is calling a play call to pass, it goes through your headset. You can call out of the play. It falls on Nick Sirianni, who makes less money than Jalen Hurts. It falls on Jalen Hurts. You make $40 million to call the right plays, even when the play caller calls a bad play. I'm tired of it.
No.
And not only that, he made a poor read. The backside was wide open for a hook curl in the flat, wide open for 5 yards. This dude sits back, reads to the strong side, throws into bracket coverage, which they showed bracket coverage pre-snap. Pre-snap. They didn't do anything unique. They had practice squad DBs out there. They weren't rolling coverage. This was atrocious. When the All-22 comes out, this will be one of Jalen Hurts' worst performances of his career. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I think there was a couple of things you said there. Now, the money thing throws me off. I've heard that before. I don't understand because he makes this money, he can't have a bad game. I don't understand.
That's not what it's saying. I'm saying the buck falls on him.
Oh, well, he's the quarterback. Of course it falls on him.
Right. So if a play caller calls a play where you're like, man, we shouldn't be running a pass play here. Rookie quarterbacks, maybe a Brock Purdy who's in his second year, doesn't have full command of the offense. He's probably not allowed to call that check. When you're a max extension quarterback, guess what you're allowed to do? Veto out of any play you want to. Right? Am I right or am I wrong there?
I don't think you want to start second guessing. I mean, I get what you're saying.
Am I right or am I wrong there? Can a $40 million quarterback veto a rookie play caller? Yes or no?
You're talking about things you don't know. You don't know what type of green light he has.
I 100.
You also don't know what's here in his headset. I'm just saying, talk about what
you
see.
Oh my gosh, guys! I know how football works. A rookie play caller is not going to get a veto of $40 million quarterback in his 4th year. Sorry, that's not how football works.
No. Time out. I think I understand what you're saying, Sharp. What I think I want to say here is that are you talking about the last play of the game? Like what
I'm talking about all the plays. I'm talking about the fact that we have a rookie play caller and they're going to put the hands in a game to win. They put the ball in the hands of Jalen Hurts, trusting him to make good decisions, and he made terrible decisions. You don't get to go back and say, "Oh, it's on the play caller's fault for putting the ball in Jalen Hurts' hands," when we should just be handing it to a $2 million DeAndre Swift. That's not how football works. Sorry.
That does. It is how football works.
No, that is not. That might That
Sharp,
might
that's
work.
why
No,
we
that might
lost.
work when Christian McCaffrey makes. That might work when Christian
Why
McCaffrey
does
makes
it matter
$15
about
million.
who makes what? We're
It
talking
does.
football. Talk
No,
football.
But I
and
mean,
it's a
you're talking about
salary
the
cap
elite.
league. It's a
Yeah, but
salary cap
I
league.
don't care about who makes $1, who makes 50
yeah, it
million.
doesn't. I don't.
It
I think
does.
the. I think. I
It
think.
does.
I think the money. I think you're both right. Right. I think you're
It
both right.
does.
You both have a point. But I think you have to play with what you have. Everybody doesn't have a CMC, right? Like everybody doesn't have that to fall on the fall back on. So I think Sharp. I think you have a point where Jalen. I agree with you. Jalen does have the green light to make a change if he wants to. But then on the same side, what I hear what Diddy's saying is that trust in your guys. Like trust in
He
your play
was.
callers.
We have
So
AJ Brown, we have Dallas Goedert, and we have Devontae Smith. Those dudes make a fortune. Those are our prime playmakers. DeAndre Swift is the fourth man in that pecking order. Bottom line, he's not the
okay,
first. He's not the second. He's not the third. He's the fourth. Anyone who
okay,
thinks otherwise has a mistaken identity of how this Eagles offense is going to go.
all
Jeffrey
right.
Lurie wants to pass. We are a passing team.
We are a passing team. That's
We
what
are.
you keep saying. We are not. We're
Okay,
number
well,
2
then that's
in
you.
the NFL with the run game. We
Okay,
are
well,
the
you'll see. You'll see next. You're gonna see.
There's
We're
nothing
gonna
about what I
continue
gotta
to pass.
see.
We're gonna
There's
continue to
nothing.
pass.
Listen,
We're
Sharp,
gonna
I
continue to
know
pass.
because we're live and we can't go back and forth.
We're
I'm just
gonna
I don't
we're
want to
gonna
go back and
pass.
forth. I'm gonna
Hold
put
on, go Sharp. Let him get
yeah,
his point. Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
put the real statistical lines in front of you. We are
We
the number. Listen to what
Hold
I'm
on,
saying.
Sharp. Hold on, Sharp. Hold on.
We are the number 2 rushing offense in the NFL with 160 yards rushing a game.
okay.
Okay. With that being said, we're led by a rush. DeAndre
No.
Swift averages
Hold
over
on, Sharp.
16 carries to 17 carries a game, and we've been very successful with that. We were going against the ranked 29th run defense in the NFL with the New York Jets. You know what they are good at doing? They're good against the pass. I don't care if Sauce Gardner is out. I don't care
No,
if
they're not.
Reed is out. They have a great pass rush defensive line. They get
Mhm.
after the quarterback. You don't think I'm right?
I
Let's go
saw
down the,
I
let's go.
saw a
Let me
lot of
finish.
clean
I'm gonna finish.
pocket.
You can jump on. Let me finish. Kansas City came in there, MVP quarterback, looked crazy out there. Right? We can
No,
agree. He didn't look crazy.
but they don't. But they don't
Hold
have
on.
AJ Brown.
Patrick Mahomes is the MVP he's the face of the face of the NFL.
Yeah, and he still beat him.
He went to New York and damn near got embarrassed.
No, he beat him.
He had a terrible game.
He beat him.
He had a terrible game.
But he beat him.
Josh Allen went to the New York.
Yeah.
MVP guy, right? He's always in the race for MVP.
But guess who played? But guess who played in those games? DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner.
It doesn't. It's about.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That matters.
Pass rush.
Come on. It doesn't matter.
I didn't say it doesn't matter.
You just said it doesn't matter. You literally just said it doesn't matter.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Game plan. Just because the 2-star cornerbacks are out, don't mean that you change who you are as an offense. If we're a run-heavy offense, we run the football.
We're not a run-heavy offense. We pass more than we run. Every game this year, we've passed more than we've ran. Every single game. Every single game. We're a pass-first offense.
I think the rushing numbers we're better at rushing than we are passing. Do we both agree with that?
We are, but we're a pass-first offense is our identity.
We want to be a pass-first offense.
Correct. So that's what we do.
I agree with that point, but I do agree that rushing the ball should be our identity.
We are a more efficient running team than we are a passing team.
Absolutely.
But our identity is a passing offense. And so that's who we are.
But that's true, though. Diddy, that's true.
Nate,
is that not true? Is that not true?
So, Moss.
Yeah.
So we're a better running team, correct? We got that clear.
More efficient.
I think we're more efficient. We're better at running the ball.
We're
better at running the ball.
Slow. For me, that's slow. What's efficient mean?
No. We're better at running the ball. We're better at running the ball than we are
Diddy, but here's my thing.
So if we're better at one thing,
Go ahead.
If we're better at one thing and we continue to do the thing that we're not as good at,
Right.
Who does that fall on?
That's
Is it
coaching.
is it the Jalen Hurts, the $50 million man?
Yes.
Or
You think so? Come
Yes.
on, Sean. He calls. He's running the plays that are called. Is he not?
Yes, but he's running them terribly.
He was 5-0.
The team is 5-0. QBs don't win or lose games.
What?
I said what I said. QBs don't win or lose games.
QBs don't win games.
They don't win or lose games. No.
You're out of it. Now you're talking out your ass, Sharp. Come on
It's
now.
a team game, guys.
It is a team game, but it starts with the quarterback.
No, a QB has the most responsibility. They touch the ball the most. It doesn't mean a quarterback can play great, a defense can play awful, a special teams can play awful. You can lose. That's not on the quarterback. That's basically Justin Herbert's career.
so I'm
Right?
gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm gonna use stats because this is I don't want to.
No. Hold on. Before you say so, hold on. One point I'll say before I'll let you go. So everything you said about that, my point would be if I'm Jeffrey Lurie and everything you said would be true, Brett, I would come to you and say, why do we pay AJ Brown $20 million if we're a running team? That would be my first answer. And then I would go to how he wrote. No. Listen, I would say, why do we pay receivers $20 million if we are a running team? That would be my first question. My second question would be, why do we pay a quarterback $40 million if we are a running team? What would be your response to those two, please?
You asking me a question about that?
Yes, I want you to be Nick Sirianni and I'm Jeffrey Lurie, and I'm asking you, you're saying we're a better running team, and I'm saying to you, okay, well then why do we have $60 million tied up into two guys who are attached to passing the football?
Because one, this is a passing league, and your franchise is led by a quarterback. That's one.
So then should our identity be passing?
Let him finish.
In this league, you need threats on the outside that can get the ball down the field when you need them to do. But at the same time, if I have a strong run offense, which I do, because we're going to go through the numbers that you said where we run the ball, we're more successful, all that stuff. I'm going to go through from week 1 how successful we are at passing the football, right? With a $100 million man at receiver, $100 million man at all that stuff. Let's look at the stats here, right? Week 1 against the Patriots. Very close game, correct? We could have lost that game. We should have probably lost that game, right? We can agree.
Sure. We covered. Yeah. I don't know. We covered the spread.
Yeah, but it was last minute, right? Patriots had a drive; they can win the game, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a fact.
I mean, we dominated the whole game, but then they came back late.
We did dominate. Jalen Hurts threw the ball 33 times. Kenneth Gainwell rushed for 14. Jalen for 9, 1 and 1. Right. So that's about close to about even, maybe. But we'll say they passed more, right?
They did.
Close game though, right? Close game. Barely got away. Let's go to the Vikings. I was there, thanks to Moss Money. Great seats. Not so much of a close game, but they had opportunity at the end of the game.
I love how you snuck that in there, boy.
Absolutely. Guess how many times we ran the ball that game? Guess why we ended up winning that game?
We ran the ball very successfully.
Dominated that game, right? Jalen Hurts threw the ball.
Well, I don't know if we dominated.
I want to finish.
I don't think we dominated.
We're up 2 scores.
Justin Jefferson had that fluke fumble.
Covered sharp. I was praying to God in the stands that you would.
I know, but remember, Justin Jefferson had that fluke fumble with the pylon, or it's a 1-score game the whole way.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It was a controlled game. Guess what?
Yeah, same as the Patriots.
Guess how many rushes we did? DeAndre Swift had 28 rushing attempts. Scott had 5. Hurts had 12. Penny had 3. We threw the ball 23 times and dominated Minnesota. No,
that was just as close of a game as the Patriots, in my opinion. Same exact game flow.
However you want to say it.
They was.
The Buccaneers, another dominated game, right?
Yeah, we dominated that. That was defensive dominated.
True. 37 attempts to throw. DeAndre Swift had 60, 14, and 10. 45, what was that? Close to 45 rushing?
Yep.
Okay. Dominated that game.
Now, hold on. I want to add in part of that game, just to go on with Sharp's point, and kind of help your point, too. At the same time, A.J. Brown had 9 catches, 131 yards. So we did pass the ball that game. He almost had 300 yards.
37 passes.
He had 37 passes. Yep.
So close to 45 rushing. When we run the ball, we dominate. This is if I'm a coach. Let's go to the Commanders, right? Not so much. Not so much. 14 rushes for DeAndre Swift, 9 for Hurts, and 4 for Kenneth Gainwell. Hurts threw for 37 times in that game. And guess what we end up doing? Overtime and barely winning that game. Okay?
Okay.
And we're going to go to the last 2 games. We just did Jets game. Hurts, 15 rushes. DeAndre Swift, 17 rushes, 7 for Gainwell, 38 passing for Jalen Hurts.
So it was
right?
50-50. So it was 50-50.
50-50.
And we struggled. What do you mean?
We struggled?
Today?
No, this is against the Rams.
This is the Rams game.
Okay. The Rams. Yeah, another defensive dominated game, the Rams game. Defensive dominated.
Okay, let's get to the Jets. Let's get to this game here. 45 pass attempts in a game that you had to lead in all game. Guess how many times we ran the ball? 8 rushes for Jalen Hurts, 10 rushes for DeAndre Swift, 2 for Gainwell, and 12. That's 14 carries for your running backs against 45 dropbacks. And your defense played lights out.
Yeah, totally agree.
In a game like that,
the QB had one of his worst games of his career. There's not much you could do.
Yeah, you can run the ball. You can run the ball. 14-3, 14-9. You can run the football. You can control the game. You can game manage. That's my. It's not always about running the football, handing the ball off. It's about managing the game and seeing across the field that Jets offense is so bad they can't do anything unless we give it to them. And the only way we can give them the ball, if we drop back 45 times, an interception happen, a tip can happen, any type of bad read.
I mean, dude, you can run it 20 times and a fumble can happen. Ask Miami. They had the lead and did what you're saying and fumbled and fucking lost the game. So what are you talking about, dude? Miami had a chance 2 weeks ago to ice a game. They ran the ball to end it, put it in a playmaker's hand. He fumbled. So whether you're passing it or running it, players can make mistakes.
Sharp. You know they should have took a damn knee. That's terrible management. Terrible management.
Right. No. And what I'm saying is that wasn't this scenario where it was like, oh my gosh, why didn't Brian Johnson call a kneel? Like this, he called a play and Jalen Hurts ran a bad play. He ran it poorly.
Sharp, let me ask you a question.
I think Jalen Hurts played a worse game. Jalen Hurts played a worse game than Sirianni coached by far today. By far.
Give me
by far.
I agree with that.
Give me any other scenario than what happened today, how the Jets could have won this game.
Well, yeah. The only way the Jets win is if Hurts plays one of the worst games of his career. That was their only way out. And that's what happened.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say. Devontae Smith didn't have one drop all year. He had 3 drops today. Dallas Goedert, 2 drops and an untimely kind of turn in whatever.
Yet we dropped back 45 times.
Dude, they make money. You're going to trust your playmakers.
If DeAndre Swift wasn't reading the holes, if DeAndre Swift was fumbling the ball, will we continue to give DeAndre Swift the ball?
I don't think, to be completely honest with you, I don't think we were resetting the line of scrimmage today. That's not what I saw in the run game.
We were averaging 5 yards a carry.
Because when we ran, because they were dropping back into coverage. So when we ran, it was optimistic.
So with the run game, Diddy, let me ask you this: are you including Hurts in the run game? Because I think when I look at the numbers now, I don't think we were averaging 5 yards a carry if you take Hurts out. Because Hurts had 8 carries and 47 yards. So if you look at the run game. Okay. If you look at the run game, Swift had 10 carries for 18 yards, so he wasn't making no move, and one of those was 9 carries. Gainwell had 2 carries for 13 yards, so he had a nice thing, but he just didn't get the ball. And Scott had 2 carries for 2 yards. So it's really what Hurts was hurting them on their legs. I agree that our identity should be running the ball because that's what we're good at and that's what we do. But we're also down 2 linemen. Our whole right side was gone. Right, Lane was gone, and so was who's the guard? I forget his name.
Cam Jurgens.
Jurgens is out. So, if you think about now that I'm thinking about it right now, I thought Sharp was bugging, and I still think Sharp be bugging. So that's no knock on Sharp, but at the same time, you have just like just like you have the weakness on the defensive side of the ball for the Jets, our right side was weak because we were getting that boy 47 was getting pressure all day on Driscoll. So when you think about the rushing attack for this game, I think I have to agree here that the game plan was right to throw the ball. Once Lane went out, which was early, now on the right side of the ball of the offensive line, you got nothing but backups.
So we
That's
passed
tough
the
sledding.
ball.
I mean,
How
I'm
do you,
looking at you. I'm listening to you, and I'm looking at the numbers. If you take Hurts out, they had 14 carries for 34 yards.
so and right before that, right before the 4-minute offense, we had 6 carries for DeAndre Swift, who was averaging 5 yards a carry. And
I
then we
don't
went to
understand,
our 4-minute, and then he ended up getting stopped twice or 3 times or something like that for a loss
but I
because
don't understand.
they were now 8 in the box, which we knew they were going to run in the 4-minute. Instead of when we were saying to run the ball late in the third quarter, I said run the football. We're averaging 5. That's what I said. It was printed. It was written. We're averaging 5 yards with DeAndre Swift when he had 6 carries. It was 6 carries. He had 6 carries for like something. He was averaging 5. And then we went and we didn't do it. And then we got into the fourth quarter, and then under the 4-minute, we started to try to run the football. At that point, it's too late because now they're boxing it. They know all you need is 1 first down.
Right.
They know you're going to
Yeah.
run the football.
I just don't know I don't know if Swift ever averaged 5 carries this game.
I should have screenshotted and put it up there when I said it.
No, I remember you said it because we were talking. But I'm just saying, if he was averaging 5 yards per carry with 6 carries, he would have 30 yards.
He was. That's
Right?
what he was up. I'm saying he was close to 5 yards. Yes, he was up there. Would he end up with 18 or something like that?
He only ended 18. I don't remember him getting hit in the backfield rushing the ball.
He did. In the last 4 minutes, he got stopped like 3 times.
Yeah, but that means for losses of 15 though, like
Well,
5.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly where it was.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you that the game plan should have switched mid game, and we've seen that problem before, even back to the Andy days where they couldn't change the game flow mid game. We had problems with that. We get stuck doing the same thing over and over and over again, and just forcing it to work. Now,
Right.
in this particular game, it was such a glaring advantage us from a passing standpoint because, like Sharp said, they'd had practice guys out there on the cornerbacks. But the identity of this team that we know, whether the coaches know or not, is running the ball because that's what they're good at. They're better and more efficient at doing that. But it comes back down. I don't. I don't. It's funny listening to both of you rap about it. I don't agree with Hurts throwing the ball 45 times. You can't do that.
Here's my overall thing with the game. You can knock the coaches. My only way you can knock the coaches, like I think their game plan coming into the week to attack the secondary and go bombs away was smart. And I think early in the game they had the chance to put the Jets away, and it was total. The playmakers let them down. Devontae Smith played terrible. Like, can everyone say they called a really good game early and it was just flat the play on the players, right? When Lane was there, I mean, Devontae played terrible. Swift had a horrible fumble holding it with one hand in traffic. Goddard turned before he caught the ball and coughed it up.
That was just a good.
That's fine. You can say that's a good play on the linebackers, but I'm saying, however you can't take that on the coaches. That's not bad game planning, right? None of that was bad game planning. Guys were open. Like, that's good game planning, right? We can say how the Eagles schemed up the first drive, how they schemed up the whole first half. That was good coaching, right? We can all agree. Poor execution, good coaching. Is that right? Is that what everyone saw in the first half?
Did it? You go? I'm okay with that. I think so.
Good coaching, good game plan, poor execution.
You don't think the first half was good?
We didn't run the ball. We had 8 carries.
So when guys are open for 25 yards, like coming out of the halftime, you're mad that we didn't run the ball because Devontae Smith has a chance to get 40 yards and drops it?
Sharp, how many points we got?
That's on the players.
So my thing is this.
This was a Jimmy's and Joe's game, not an X's and O's game.
Within games, as a coach, my coach has to put the players in the best position to win. That's the number one job. So I got to understand game flow. I got to understand, you know what? The game is going like this. My best players aren't making plays. I have to protect them. I have
But
to
our best
find
players
ways.
were.
I have to find ways to protect them. You just told me that the star players and the $1 million guys weren't balling.
Well, A.J. Brown's the best player on our offense, hands down, and he was balling.
Okay, well, he can't get 1,000 catches.
Well,
So
they should have stopped throwing it to the other guys and kept giving it to him.
As a coach, I have to put my players in position. It was 14-6 at one point in this game.
And we weren't going to run ourselves to victory.
Dropping back to pass.
Go ahead, let him finish it.
We were dropping back to pass like we were down against a team that offensively could not do anything with us besides kick field goals. And for me as a coach, I would think, you know what? I got to start squeezing some of the air out this ball. Maybe we don't have to go 100% run. Maybe we don't have to take a knee, but I need to start leveling my pass plays to start playing against what I'm playing against there. Because the only way the Jets over here can win is if we possibly turn the ball over, make some stupid plays, and that has to be more controlled by me as a coach. I would say, you know what? Let's play some small ball here. Let's play some field position ball. We get a first down, we start squeezing the clock, just like we've done in the past. Just like the 7-minute drives we got in the past. But no, we dropped back. Matter of fact, I know it was 2 times. Gave it off to DeAndre Swift. He had a 4-yard carry, a 5-yard carry. Second down, drop back. We throwing bombs to A.J. Brown. Third down, drop back. We throwing bombs again. Fourth down, now we punting the ball. It just didn't make sense. Because
I thought we were pretty efficient targeting A.J. Brown today.
Regardless of who we're targeting. For one, we didn't use any clock. No clock. Matter of fact, I was on the phone with Moss when it was happening. We were up controlling the ball game 14-9, and we're dropping back, waste no clock, and they get the ball with 8 minutes left. And we got lucky. Let's not forget we got lucky when they had the ball going across and could have scored, and they get the flag and brought them back to the 50, and we end up forcing the punt. Let's not forget that either.
I think that's part of the game flow. That's part of the game.
Let's not forget. We even said it when we were saying. But then again, we get the ball back and we wouldn't control the game. We kept giving them opportunity. Did Jalen have a terrible game? I would say so. Do I get him all those turnovers on him? No. The last turnover, absolutely. It was terrible. I'm sure he wants to take that back. He didn't see the linebacker over the middle. It was a stop route, which I thought he was going to run. They ran that play right to Goddard before, like I think that same drive before. It was there. He didn't see it. But knowing that and knowing as a coach that, okay, Lane Johnson, arguably the best tackle in football, you throw in Driscoll, it ain't the same. Right away, we've had that conversation on the text message stream. It ain't the same. There's only one Lane Johnson. He's arguably the best tackle in football.
But you can't just go into a shell and not pass because your right tackle's out. That's not how the NFL works.
Not pass. I'm saying, but we need to still run the football. Because all you do is give green lights.
I don't think we were running the ball effectively when Lane was in there, to be honest. Like, I think where you and me are different in this game, you think we could have just ran the clock out in the second half, and I don't agree. I think if we just ran the ball, we were going to get stuffed at the line, and we were not getting first downs.
I don't think that he's saying that run to win the game, but that's not. I don't think that's what he's saying. What he's saying is that there was times where we could have taken control of this game by running the ball
or by scoring.
But that's
that too. But that didn't work. That didn't work, right? It didn't work.
He didn't score.
So what he's saying is
running the ball wasn't working either.
But Sharp, what I'm saying is say we do run the ball and say we not getting nowhere. Say we do punt. We're punting the ball, and you got to give Zach Wilson opportunity.
I just think it really comes down to this. We couldn't run the ball. We couldn't pass the ball. The players played like shit. They played awful. It was a Jimmy's and Joe's really bad game. Like, you essentially had Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, Jake Elliott, and Jalen Hurts have their worst game of the year all together. If you were to before the game, if you said, hey, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jake Elliott, and Jalen Hurts are going to have their worst individual performances, regardless of coaching, all in this game, all three of us would be like, yeah, we might take this L. Would you agree with that?
I already said that, though. I said,
well, no, hey.
No,
you can't say. Listen. I know, but that's not where he put his money. That's not where he put his money. I didn't hear. Was your biggest best bet this week Jets money line? I didn't hear that.
No, I would never do that.
Yeah, why would he do that?
But you heard what I said. I said if anything can happen, this is the ultimate trap game.
I mean, I don't think this was the ultimate trap game spot, but okay. Trap from what? The Rams wasn't a big game.
Oh Lord Jesus!
I don't know what the trap was. We don't have a division game coming up.
You gotta check the tape.
I don't know what's the trap. I don't honestly don't see the trap. You're saying Miami's like the biggest game on our schedule, so that's all we were caring about? Is that what you're saying?
So why it's an ultimate trap game is because one, we had a big game against the Los Angeles Rams that was.
I don't think that was a big game.
Okay.
They didn't make the playoffs last year.
I mean, my thing is of a trap game. When I think of a trap game, is a game that, and I think I said it this weekend. I just didn't see any way the Eagles losing this game, and the only way the Eagles lose this game if they lay an egg.
Fluke
and
game.
The crazy and everybody pretty much laid an egg from coaching, special teams.
Yep.
Starts with Jalen at first, right? You had your star players. You
Lane
got
had to go
injuries.
down. Yep.
Every box that checked had to happen, and the ball. Even though we got lucky, the ball bounced more on the Jets' favor on the Jets' side.
Yep.
Than it did our side. So, in the essence of trap game, to me, this was a trap game. Now, to say money and betting and stuff like that, I mean, that'd be really bold, especially we're all Eagles fans, to put the biggest bet on the other side. I don't think we would ever do that.
You mean like me when I took Vikings 7.5?
But you said money line too, right? Like we're talking about.
Well, no, but I know, but I'm saying ultimate trap game. Like I don't. To me, a trap game is when you're playing. Like when you've got like to me, if we were playing the Niners next week and last week was the Cowboys, this would be like holy shit, yeah. In the beginning of the year, when you look at the schedule, you'd be like, oh my gosh, that's a trap game. Like I could see us beating the Cowboys, beating the Niners, and then land again on the Jets. When I looked at the schedule, I never said, oh man, at Rams is going to be tough. At Miami's going to be tough, but man, really watch out for that sneaky Jets game. Like to me, that one a trap spot.
But you had this as a win.
Hold on, Nate, because that's a lot.
Well, yeah, but to me, this reminds me of the Commanders game last year, where it was just totally fluky. Like 4 things had to go wrong at once, and they did.
This was circled as a tough game with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. You're crazy. You're absolutely crazy.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think it's a trap game. In the preseason, this was just a game you'd be up for.
That's what makes it a trap, because everybody knows that this Jets offense is garbage. So what you
that's not how I look at trap game. We just have different definitions of trap games.
Let me explain why I say it was a trap game, and this is why it's played on the pod. We went away for a game. For me, the way and the results from what the players said after post game, i.e., your captain and Jalen Hurts, he said, you know what, I really like how our guys turned up pretty much. He said that the flight and the difference was an impact to them, right? He's happy how they came and showed out. So for me, what I say is a trap game is that, hey, you're going from west to east, right? So you got to get back to adjustment.
So did the Jets. So did the Jets. So did the Jets.
I'm not worried about Jets. I'll talk about the Jets in a second.
But the Jets had the same travel. They went west into altitude, coming east. So just that crosses out whatever you said for the Eagles right there.
We're not worried about the Jets, though.
Right.
I'm not worried about the Jets. The Jets is not part of the trap, but the trap is the Eagles.
But on top of that, let me explain to you. Let me finish. So we're going from west to east. We got to now travel to New York, right?
90 minutes up the road, not hard.
We got now go into New York. At the same time, we got a very big game next week. Primetime football. Kelly Green Day against one of the toughest offenses in the NFL in Miami. On top of that, what I said and I said very clearly, Nate, last week, I said with the Jets coming off 2 great games and they are confidence building in Zach Wilson over the past 2 weeks when they played the Kansas City Chiefs and took them to the end, and you can see on the sideline that they were really excited about Zach Wilson, pumping them up. And then they go to Denver and beat Denver. I said this was a prime letdown spot for them. This was a prime letdown spot for them.
Who, for the Jets?
Yeah, like when a team's playing a little over their skis a couple weeks and then come home, they usually play bad. Like I said, this is a fluke game.
And they don't. They win.
It was
And they win.
a fluke game. 4 turnovers. They didn't outplay the Eagles. The Eagles just played their worst game of the year. This is exactly like the Commanders game last year, where terrible fumbles, Quez Watkins drops a bomb, Lane Johnson got hurt, didn't finish the Commanders game, Terry McLaurin catches a random bomb, they score on a pick 6, next thing you know, it's a dogfight. Oh my gosh, they score a walk-off field goal, we lose. That's all this game was.
Well, you know what Washington did during that game?
You
know what they did?
The ball.
They ran a fucking ball. And and Jalen Hurts only had two possessions in the first half? In 2 quarters?
See, but I can't. I think the Washington John is like I can't take it because. But even so, because we're on it and it's up.
Those games just remind me of each other. No, I'm saying Washington last year.
It's a division game. Washington always plays us tough. Like that doesn't hurt. That doesn't tell me. We beat the Jets 12 times in a row. Right?
Yeah, let's get it. So we were due to lose one.
We were due. Yeah. But we're also undefeated. Like
so then we were due to lose one.
Nobody had us winning this game. I mean, nobody had the Jets winning this game outside of Jets fans.
I know, but you know what this makes it though? It makes it almost better because now it's like an easier. Like I was gonna say coming into this game, like next week was gonna be an auto loss for the Eagles. Now it's an auto win. Like now you have to smash the Eagles -2.5. They'll bounce back against the Dolphins. No problem, bounce back. Yeah, it's a huge bounce back spot. We're not going to lose 2 in a row.
Bounce back. Ain't no bounce back.
Hey, just like I bet against the Chiefs, just like I took the Chiefs after they lost week 1 to the Lions, they'll bounce back against the Jags. We'll bounce back against Miami. Great teams don't lose 2 times in a row.
No, I hear what you're saying.
And it's the same line. I'm going to get Eagles -2.5. I got Chiefs -2.5. This will be a 20-unit bet. This will be a 20-unit bet. This will be a 20-unit bet. I'm telling you right now.
I can't take.
It's the perfect spot. I bet spots.
I can't take the birds. I can't take the birds there because I don't know who's hurt. I don't know who's
their best
playing.
You know who's hurt.
I need to know who's
all
playing.
their guys will be back. Slay will be back. Carter will be back for sure.
I need to know if Lane's back. That's who I need to know. If Lane Johnson's playing, okay, you could talk me into it.
Well,
but
I'm not worried about Miami's pass rush is not good. So it's not like the Jets
offensive line isn't good. Like the right side of our offensive line is not good.
Miami can't. Miami doesn't have a left end that can hurt us.
Who's it? Chubb and who?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got Chubb and Jalen Phillips. I'm not worried about that.
You don't think they'll move Chubb around?
They will, but we'll just chip Jack Stoll onto that side, and we'll come up for a game plan with Lane Johnson being out, and it'll be different. We'll probably run the ball to success exactly like Diddy wants us to. We'll probably you know what's going to happen? We'll run 50 times. We'll take the air out of Miami. Miami will be pressed. Then we'll jump a route, pick 6. You know how game flow will go. The bounces will go our way. Jalen Hurts will play one of his cleanest games. Jalen Carter will be back. He'll bust through their sorry offensive line. He'll ragdoll Tua. This could be the Tua concussion game.
Oh, shit.
Just saying, like, that's how football goes, man.
You know what's so funny?
The Niners lost on some fluke. The Eagles lost on some fluke. There's always that 1 week where fluky stuff happens, and it was just this week.
Sure.
Go ahead, Diddy. Go ahead, Diddy.
We can keep up with the Miami Dolphins.
Because we're going to run the ball, and we're going to dominate both lines of scrimmage.
So now we're going to run the ball.
Yeah, because we just learned our lesson.
I hope so.
Because if we go into because guess what? Miami has a good secondary, but they have a bad run defense.
But why do you think our pass offense is good?
What? Why is our pass offense good?
Why do you think our pass offense is good?
You don't think our pass offense is good?
Tell me why.
Diddy, if our pass offense isn't good, then Howie Roseman made a critical error paying Jalen Hurts what he did, and our team is doomed. So if what you said is true, we paid a average quarterback great money, and we will be the next Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings, and the next Dallas Cowboy Dex. If what you're saying is true, I'm just telling you right now, we are headed for a bad place.
I'm just asking a question.
Our pass offense is good, bro. Come on.
I think it is good. I agree. I'm with Diddy. I'm with Nate. I'm just asking if what Diddy is saying true.
How many passing touchdowns do we have? How many?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
6.
So Diddy, is Jalen Hurts overpaid?
I think Jalen Hurts brings more than passing because he can run the football.
You don't get paid $45 million to run the football in the NFL.
I'm not going to you about back and forth about money and opportunities because we can say
money's huge.
Money's huge. Money last year. He took his team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you don't get paid for what you did in the past. You get paid for what you're about to do.
Oh, he got paid because he took him to the Super Bowl, bro. Come on,
you sound silly.
No, I know, and that's why I'm saying I do think Jalen Hurts maybe I think there is a way where we probably could have gone into probably overpaid a guy we probably played a B quarterback A money. I think that's fair to say.
You think he's a B quarterback?
I do.
Really?
Me. I think Justin Herbert's better, no question. I don't think it'll take long for C.J. Stroud to be better. Yes. You guys know I know Josh Allen's 100%.
Where's Shea Khan Glitter's thing? Here, we put it out there. Sharp, you bugging, bro.
No, guys.
You bugging. Come on now.
You don't think Justin Herbert's better quarterback than Jalen Hurts?
On talent-wise? Absolutely.
No, better quarterback. He makes better decisions. He's bigger. He's stronger with a better arm, and he makes better decisions.
He's definitely not stronger, so let's stop right there.
Stronger arm.
Stronger arm. No, on talent, he's better. I'm not questioning his arm. I'm not questioning his arm talent.
And he's more accurate.
I'm not questioning his arm talent, and
he makes better decisions.
He's not quarterbacks in this league.
He makes better decisions.
We all talk football. We can all talk X's O's. We can all talk numbers. We can all talk betting. But in this game, that's all that matters is if you win or lose. Don't matter how you do it. At the end of the day, is you win or you lose.
Well, teams win, not QBs.
Whatever it doesn't. At the end of the day,
winning and losing is not a QB stat. Winning and losing is not a QB stat.
You just blame Jalen Hurts for losing this game because he played the worst game, but that's not part of the loss.
No, I didn't blame him for the loss. I said if four things had to all come together for us to lose, and one of them was him having the worst game of his season. I don't ever blame one player for a loss. You'll never hear me say that.
Hold on, dude. Let me ask you a question because you love Herbert so much. But it doesn't matter if he wins?
No, because he's overcoming a bunch of if you swapped out Herbert and Hurts, we win the Super Bowl win the Super Bowl last year. If you swap out Herbert and Hurts, we have a Super Bowl ring. There's no doubt in my mind, and we win today.
Well
I don't think there's. I don't think it's even a hard stretch.
The first one, I disagree with you because Hurts balled his ass out in the Super Bowl. You're not going to get really a better performance.
But he also gave the game. He played great, but he also had the single worst play in the Super Bowl.
And we were also up by 10, were we not? We were also up by 10 most of the game.
Yes, but you got to remember. We in the Super Bowl, we had the one extra possession in the first half because we got the ball first. So you already have to know that Kansas City going into halftime, which is an extra long halftime in the Super Bowl with Andy Reid and Mahomes, you have to factor in they're going to come out and score a touchdown on that first drive. You have to bake that in.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but when I'm defending Hurts about is you replace Herbert with Hurts, and you're saying we have a Super Bowl ring. I don't agree with that because Hurts had historically one of the best performance ever of all time in the Super Bowl. Yes, he spotted them 7, and we were still up 10.
But I think Herbert can make all those throws that Hurts was making with AJ Brown and Smith wide open and Goddard open.
And let me get with you. Arm talent wise, do I think Herbert's better than Hurts? Yes, I do. I don't disagree. What I disagree with you is yes, it's a team game, but it always starts at the quarterback. That's why quarterbacks go 1. That's why our quarterbacks win MVPs. And that's why when we talk about the greatest players in this game, it starts at the quarterback position. So what I'm trying to understand from you here is that I don't think Herbert is a better quarterback than Hurts. Why? Because Hurts wins more games than Herbert, and Herbert's been in the league longer.
He's in a better situation. No, he's in a better situation.
He's in a better situation? Allen and Williams and Eckler is not a good situation?
Bro, he was drafted by the Eagles. That, by default, is 10 times better than being drafted by the Chargers. Yes.
He was a backup.
Bro, he was drafted 2nd round to a stacked team.
We weren't stacked at the time.
Huh?
Who did we have on that team? What Wentz? Who did we have? AJ Brown wasn't here.
We just came off a Super Bowl. And we have 4 Hall of Famers who still play, and Jordan Mailata. What are you talking about? That's 5 key players.
From an offensive line standpoint, I'm talking about skill positions. You need this is going back to what you said. This is why we paid the AJ Brown. This is why we paid the Godders.
But offensive stats isn't why you win games. Teams win and lose. I don't care about your receivers. That doesn't mean anything to me. Herbert landed in a better situation to pass. You guys are serious, right? You guys are telling me you think Herbert was in a better situation than Hurts?
The first thing you opened up with was everybody.
Wow, that's crazy. There's not a single quarterback that literally would say, I hope the Chargers draft me over the Eagles. Never. That's never been said in the history of the NFL. Never.
That's because Philly's
that's never been
San
said.
Diego.
That's never been said.
But we're talking about on the field, like football team wise.
Every team would want to. That
team was in a better situation than the Eagles were. Absolutely.
No, they weren't.
They were ready to win now.
No.
Eckler, Allen, Williams. They had
no offensive line. They still have no head coach. They have no defense. You got to start with the head coach. You got to find that first.
But we got rid of Doug.
Now it's
we got rid of Doug. We didn't know Sirianni was going to be good.
We
had no idea. We threw him all under the bunch. We all threw Sirianni in a bunch. Once he came out with his roots and tree of life and shit, we did not know Sirianni was going to be good enough to take us to the Super Bowl.
No, I'm saying the Eagles have a history of hiring good coaches. They go through coaches. What you guys do? You guys are a little different than me. I look at the Eagles as a picture. We turn and burn quarterbacks and coaches. Those guys are kind of irrelevant. We get there with its Wentz, Foles, Hurts. Our next quarterback in a few years is going to get there. Hurts is not going to be here for 12 years. I'll tell you that right now. Like, we're going to turn and burn.
It's hard
you
to
already know Roseman loves his quarterback factories. Like, eventually Sirianni will lose luster in 4 to 5. Like, we turn and burn coaches and QBs. That's what we do.
Oh man,
that's who we are as an organization.
It's been a good switch. I think this has been a really healthy switch of how we do our show. And well, hold on, let me get this out. I think it's been a good healthy switch of the back and forth and being able to get that emotion out, right? One, we're all mad. Can you guys still hear me?
I'm actually not even mad.
You guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I froze. But I'm gonna keep talking. That'll come back. But I think that I think this is good, right? Because we talk through the text messages, we talk in our group chat, but I think it's good switch because we're always talking betting. We're always talking underdogs and favorites and betting and units and et cetera, et cetera. And just to get back to it and give us our reactions as Eagles fans, I think that's good. And it's good, I think, for the audience to kind of see us with the kind of back and forth and give our each philosophy, because it's okay to have different looks, looking at the same terms, but have different definition of those terms, which is somewhat weird because sometimes certain definitions are kind of stuck, right? They are what they are. You can't really change them, but we found the way of how to change it, because really, Sharp, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was kind of left on the right side, kind of like, yeah, I don't agree with none of you're saying about the game, but now that you came on here and we talked, now I kind of see a little bit more, a little bit better, and kind of seeing your side of how you see it. I know I was already thinking how Diddy was, but I kind of like how you kind of broke this down and how you were kind of saying. I think some of the numbers and salary cap and stuff, you kind of pull that from your recruiting background into it. So I think that's where you're pulling that from. Me and Diddy played the game, right? You played the game in high school. We played the game in college. And then I had some, upper tier experience as well. So we have a player side while you have the scout, recruit, GM side, right? So I think it's a good mix and match in how we kind of play it. So, but it's one is for good television, right? It's good to argue back and forth once in a while. So as obviously we keep everything clean, we keep it under the belt. But I want to kind of move on from us going back and forth of how with this game. And like you said, kind of looking at the next game, Sharp, I'll let you talk about it. You love the Eagles here in this spot against Miami?
This is to me just a home run spot. This is to me exactly. This is just the perfect spot. I mean, this is that time. This is like the Chiefs coming off a week 1 loss to the Lions and then playing a tough game at Jacksonville. Everyone thinks, oh man, is this team going to go 0-2? Now everyone's already been thinking, oh man, the Eagles looked a little shaky through they have an offensive identity crisis. Are they a running team? Are they a passing team? Oh my gosh, now they can't score. They're going to go against this high-powered Miami team. Miami's blowing people out. Well, this will be the perfect spot. Jalen Carter's coming back. Cox will be back. We've already seen I gave out the prop a few weeks ago. We've seen what Hassan Reddick looks like, guys, with his cast off. I will say I nailed that one from preseason. I knew that cast was going to be a problem with how he likes to grip and rip. You see without the cast, I mean, he's back to being a top 3 pass rusher in the NFL. I mean, the dude's in the backfield every play. So you throw Jalen Carter, who I know is going to be back. I think they saved him They saved those guys for this week. Let's just call it what it is. If you want to criticize the front office, that's probably where I look at this. They probably totally could have. I mean, Jalen Carter could have played. Sidney Brown could have played. But they thought, let's save him for the Miami Dolphins and we'll squeak out a win with the Jets, right? Like, that's probably what the front office thought. That trickles down to the head coaching staff, which thinks, okay, we'll just do what we do and we'll be the Eagles. We'll air it out 35 times against this practice squad secondary, and that's how we'll get by. And they got punched in the mouth. Well, they saved those guys. They'll be hungry this week. Hungry dogs run fast. Miami can't block up front. Miami doesn't have the pass rushers that the Jets do. Miami is not as willful on defense to tackle and gang tackle. I think this. I don't think it'll be Bills ugly, but I think the Eagles will win by 2+ scores. This will be
what?
I'll have to decide if I go 20 units, but this will be a minimum 10-unit play, and you got to get it now. 2.5. This is just a smash spot for the Eagles. This will be one of my bigger bets of the season.
All right, Diddy. We're looking ahead. We talked about the Dolphins. I'm looking, the gauntlet is coming up. Talk to me about what you think. First, you absorb what Sharp said. What do you think about this game for the Dolphins? And then obviously we got the gauntlet coming up: the Commanders, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills, Niners, Cowboys again, Seahawks. Could get ugly getting up here in the on this track. What do you see for the Dolphins, and what do you see for this Eagles team moving forward?
I don't
Tough
think
question because there's
Yeah.
there's some big games coming up here.
Yeah, I don't think this was a killer game. I think it's more disappointing because I think that the Eagles should have came here and handled their business. I'm going to hold down to what I said about it being a trap game, and we weren't prepared, and I think our players didn't play like they should have played. We've seen, like you said, many mistakes offensively. That comes by not being prepared. To me, you can call it a fluke, or however you want to call it. I did try to say this earlier, that this is that moment that we can probably come in here and possibly lose this game. Did I think we were going to lose the game? Absolutely not. I think when you said you were all on it at 6.5, I was like, oh, I don't know. I think that was the first thing I said. I thought that was a lot of points. And then we did lose. I think their best defender did go out. That line didn't even move, did it?
No, we talked about that. Why when it didn't really budge. It went up
Yeah,
maybe 7, but
corners don't make the line move at all. When Trayvon Diggs went out, that Cowboys line didn't move. That's just
no,
corners don't move the line.
I agree. I would think
They
that
just don't.
no, they don't. No, you're from a betting perspective. That is true. Corn sauce maybe 0.25.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe 0.25 on the line. He wouldn't be a half a point movement, more like a receiver or something like that. I do agree with that spot. But it was definitely telling though that the line didn't budge at all,
Oh,
and that was telling that it didn't matter if he was in or not.
It was
But hold on,
telling that a lot of movement, that a lot of money came on the Eagles, and the line wouldn't balloon past 7 at all. So that was when it was like the books took a stand. They're not going to give the Jets out at 7 and 7.5. So that would be your telltale sign where Diddy was maybe saying the books took a stand on this game. It was the books firmly believed the Jets were going to be in this game.
And they were right. Go ahead, Diddy. Finish what you were saying.
yeah. So going into this game, my main concern with the Philadelphia Eagles is their health, number one, right? Lane Johnson is a huge part of this offense, and I'm hoping that he's not out for a long period of time. Um, do I think he can plug and replace Johnson? Absolutely not. Driscoll obviously showed you that. I think offensively all year round, we thought that Jalen was kind of holding the ball a little too long. They were getting a little bit of a pass rush on us all year round until we started to run the football. I think when we start running the football, we help Jalen out. I think you're right though, Sharp. I don't think Jalen is this great quarterback. I think he's great for our team, but that's why I think we need to run the football. Because I don't need Jalen Hurts to drop back 35 to 45 to 50 times. I
So
don't want that from that
we
quarterback.
overpaid him then for sure.
I don't care about paying. I
Well,
think the quarterback.
that matters.
Listen, they paid Daniel Jones 35 million.
Yeah, and they're paying
It's
for
just
it,
the way.
and
It's just the way
they're
the
paying the
market.
price for it.
It's the market. So I don't.
Nah,
I'll let upper management do that. What I'm
you can't
saying
do
by
that.
this is this:
Can't
for
make
us
that
to be
mistake.
successful, Jalen Hurts doesn't need to pass the ball that many times. We need to be able to stick to our run and stay focused that way. Going into Miami, if we're limping into Miami, it's going to be a long day. Blankership is out. He got hurt. I think we lost
Yeah, I
two
think
more
it's gonna be
corners. I think we lost two more corners this week. Hopefully, they're not going to be out much longer because we're going to
Slay
need
should
some
be
nickels.
back.
We're going to need some
Slay,
Slay.
Bradbury, and Job are there. That they're fine.
Okay,
Joe, I don't
I
know
think
about
Job got
Job.
hurt. I think Job got
Did
hurt.
Job get hurt?
I thought so.
I know Blankenship got hurt.
Oh,
I'm not
Ricks. I'm
sure if
sorry, it was
he's
Rick. Ricks got hurt and Blankership got hurt.
yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
but I know
Rick.
Bradbury got banged up. But I mean, we're in week 7. Everybody's hurt,
right.
or
So for
everybody's
this
got those
game
nicks
here,
again.
it's a tough one. I think even with everybody healthy, this is going to be a tough game. I think it's so much speed on the outside. Is Hill going to be healthy? I think he pulled up with a hamstring. If
Yeah,
he's not going to be healthy or 100%, I think we get a better opportunity. But you have the opportunity of going to Philadelphia. First time Miami's been into this opportunity, this environment. It's going to be Sunday night prime time. They're going to have it's a Kelly Green game, so it's going to be a tough place for Miami to play. I don't know what that line's going to come out at, but
It's 2.5. Eagles
yeah,
minus 2.5. It's the
yeah.
perfect spot, smash spot for the Eagles. It's all you got to bet it, guys. You got to bet it this week. This is how you win money.
I,
You got to. This is like the Bills versus the Dolphins. That we are a downhill team. We're going to attack Miami. We're going to beat the crap out of them just like the Bills did.
yeah, I think we had the same idea coming into this game, and we lost. So for me, to answer your question, Nate, this is a game that I'll be off because one, I love my Eagles too much to even bet and bet against them, and then two, I don't know what we're going to get and how we're going to bounce back. And we can hope. I hope we bounce back. I hope we do what Sharp say, and I hope Sharp covers for all the units that he's going to put on it. I'm going to be rooting for him like I always do, but this is one of the games I got to step off of and kind of wait and see how we're going to bounce back, and then I can move forward in the future betting for the Philadelphia Eagles.
yeah. I think it's really interesting. For everybody to have their own take and their side for it. So, um, I think it was a tough loss. It's never good when the Eagles lose going into the work week, but we'll shake it off. I like the confidence Sharp with the bounce back spot in Miami. I
Yeah,
understand the hesitation there, Diddy, about kind of wait and see approach for what you want. But good teams do win and find ways to win, and good teams is hard to lose. So I see both sides. For me myself, I kind of see both sides. I'm part of me, the better in me, sees the line that Sharp sees and understands the spot of where the Eagles are, and I definitely get that. But then the fan in me is like you, Diddy, like no, um, you know, I'm not so much scared, but I want to wait and see because for me, I need to know who's healthy and who's not because we came out this game pretty banged up, pretty good. So I got to understand from a health perspective, even from the other side, Miami, how good is Hill? I mean, I know he came back, and I think he had a 30, 40 yard catch when he
hmm
came back. So it could have been just cramping, where he kind of pulled up lame. But we will see. Um, Good conversation, good back and forth.
let me ask a
Um,
question about this early line real quick. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, go ahead.
2.5. Is that a Miami line?
No, that's the Eagles
Uh,
line.
I mean, it's a whatever line. I mean, it's probably where it should be. To take your stand line, they want a lot of action. They put that there to put a lot of action.
Mm.
That's
I think that's
exactly.
the
I mean,
Eagles'
I'm telling
line.
you, this is literally Kansas City Chiefs week 2 at Jags. Exact same setup, except for we're at home. Like it's that same line. Like they'll see how many people are willing to take the home team. That's better.
So are you saying? So are we saying that Eagles are a better team than the Miami Dolphins?
Absolutely,
Okay.
no doubt about it. I don't even think it's a question.
So if the Eagles are, so I'm gonna bring it back, and this is not I'm not debating with you. I'm just asking a question with the line. If the Eagles are a better team than the Miami Dolphins, then why is it only -2.5? Wouldn't it be
We just
3?
came off a loss.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. I think the loss.
So
I
do you
think the
think the
loss
line's
is
gonna
baked in.
move more in Eagles' favor or Miami's favor?
Let's count who's it's
I
if
don't think it'll
slow.
move much. I think it'll probably close at 3.
I think I was about to say if it's 2.5, if once Slay, Lane, and Carter, if
Yeah,
they're all said to be playing for this game and active, then the line should move to 3. That'll be instantly the line move up to 3,
and I think the
and then
over under will come down.
you'll see the resistance a little bit of whether it jumps across 3.5 or not. Because as soon as it hits 3.5, everybody's gonna be betting Miami at that point, right? That's a Miami line once it gets to 3.5. So it'll probably sit at 2.5, 3, and I would think the books would need an Eagles win at that point. I think the books will be rooting for the Birds to win. So I think after this loss, your gut reaction is no way they're going to be able to keep up with Miami from the offensive standpoint.
Like what you're saying is the computers are spitting out. Like what that line's telling you is that the models are spitting out. The matchup says Miami's a little bit better matchup. The problem with models is they don't really account for like the smash spot. Like models can't predict like a team playing off emotion of a win, of a loss and needing to win. Does that make sense? Like the models, there's some things that as many times as you run your algorithm, it's not going to be able to pick up. And
I thought what you were saying is not going back to what you said before. I thought you said this is not Miami's not it's not a division game, so they don't need to win.
no, I'm saying the Eagles need to win.
I'm saying the Eagles don't need to win though.
They definitely need to win.
So that's why I get a little confused because when I was saying it's a trap game, you went to Miami and said, "Well, Miami's not a game they need to win."
The Eagles not going into this game. After you lose to the Jets, then this becomes must win because you essentially had the chance to have, like, if they were to win, say they won today, I would be like, say the Eagles won today, I would be betting Miami next week. That makes sense?
Mm.
Because I'd be like, all right, they're playing with fire. They're still playing with fire. Now all of a sudden they're the undefeated team. They're probably due for that bad loss. But now it's like they lost a fluke game. San Fran lost a fluke game. Now they can't afford to lose 2 games and give home field advantage to San Fran and open the door back for Dallas. So this will be it's just like Buffalo. Came off a bad loss, now playing a Miami juggernaut that was looking undefeated, and Buffalo literally couldn't lose. So guess what? They won. And then guess what they did the next week? Had a total letdown spot versus the Jags. Like teams ride this emotional wave, and once you get used to betting a team and like fade, like sometimes you can see it. And I was wrong today. Like I thought it was going to be the other way around. Like I talked about this during the week. I expected Eagles to cover today, and then I'd be betting on Miami for the Eagles to take their first loss. But now that today happened and the San Francisco fluke shit happened, I can tell you right now, San Fran is going to play unbelievable next week, and so are the Eagles. They're going to beat the shit out of their teams.
I will say, Moss Money, I will say, you know what? I'm really good at probably picking the letdown spots. I'm not great at picking bounce back spots because I don't usually bet them. And
I'm the other way around. I'd say I'm the other way around. I'm great. I'm great at bounce back smash spots.
Yeah, because I had the Jags versus Buffalo. That was an easy bet play for me, and I was like you said, this Jets plus the money was good. It's hard when you're against your team.
And I was all about Buffalo to beat the shit out of Miami, and I was all about the Niners to beat the shit out of the Cowboys.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that I saw is that I knew that in this spot, I saw that it was a huge teaser buster to me. The Eagles were a huge teaser buster because that line sat at 6. So my whole thing was like everybody's going to be on the Eagles on the teasers. The bounce back, I can see both. I knew that this could be a possibly letdown spot, but I just thought our greatest strength against their biggest weakness was just going to be too much. But we didn't even play to that strength from a game flow wise. But from Sharp's point of view, I can see the bounce back because this, like he said, whatever you want to call it, trap game, bad game, fluke game, that's the game that happened. What are the odds that one of the best teams in the NFC has that 2 weeks in a row at home?
Yeah.
And Kelly Green.
Like you said,
night.
Kelly Green. Now it's like all the things you meant, for all the reasons you said that I didn't pick up on while this week was a letdown spot, is all the reasons now why I'm like, oh my God, this is like the perfect spot to now hammer the Eagles.
So this is one thing I did see that scares me. I'll tell you, that's what I saw today watching Miami. Miami was down 14-0. Obviously, they're playing Carolina. I can't remember exactly what happened. I think it was a turnover, and then they scored 14, and they zoomed over to Tua, and he pounds Daniels. Daniels the coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels.
Yeah, he pounds Daniels like we good. Like, and I'm like I said, I'm very heavy when I look at. I'm pregame. I'm very heavy on energy. I'm very heavy when I'm looking at games and see the small things. And they went right back out. By the halftime, it was 21-14. So that means that he just has super, super confidence in what they can do offensively.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that no matter how this game plays out, even in that environment, I think they feel like they can stay within any game. So that can be like, we can't have the hiccups that I know that the Philadelphia Eagles can have. And I haven't seen that with Miami besides the Buffalo game. So
I think we stop them because I literally think we're going to physically assault Tua. Like, I think it'll be one of those games where, like Caleb Williams, like what Notre Dame did to Caleb Williams, they're going to put their hands on him so many times that he's just going to jump passes and, oh my God, I don't want to get hit, throw, like he crumbled. And that's what happens to quarterbacks that aren't 230 plus pounds.
We have to score the football.
I agree, but I just think, and I agree, we can't play like we did today, but I think our defense is going to create a ton of havoc.
But we really haven't played that type of offense either. Like
I think they're going to do what you said, Diddy. This could be a game where we run the ball 40 times for 250 yards.
It's very possible.
It's interesting because I think Buffalo was able to beat them really badly because they were going back and forth. It was like the Washington-Oregon game. They were going back and forth. I don't know if we can do that.
We can do that.
We've had our red zone offense is trash. Trash. Like I said, Jalen Hurts has 6 touchdowns passes.
Yeah.
It's not good. And I think that offensively, Miami can, regardless what their defense do, they'll continue to put points on the board. And they've done that even in their losses. So that's the scary part for me in this. Because I watch Buffalo. Obviously, they're struggling against fucking the Giants.
I mean, that's the whole week, right? Everybody.
This was that week. This was definitely this. That's why to me, it just feels like that one damn week every year that happens where there's like 7 upsets. This was the one week to have the freaking round robin money line dogs, and that would hit it like 80-1.
Definitely would.
Yeah.
Nate, can we talk about the Philly before we go? I know we got to go. It's getting late, hour and 15.
Yeah. So I know right now Texas is up on Houston. Texas is 2-0. I think that's coming up on the bottom of the 8th, if I'm not mistaken, looking at it. Diamondbacks tomorrow. Fields Wheeler gets the game. I don't know. Did they announce who the Diamondbacks are going with for one?
Not yet. Most likely it's going to be probably Gallen, right? Got to be Gallen.
I think so.
I don't follow the D-backs much. I've obviously followed them a little bit, but
Guess who called them, Sharp? Guess who called them, boys?
Yeah, they're hot. But before the season started, I said it's going to be Astros eat Phillies. We're pretty close to that.
Yeah,
so I thought the Phillies were the best team. I thought the Phillies were the best team on paper. We just had to get healthy, to be honest with you. But I also thought I truly thought the Braves were the best team, and if we could beat them, we'll win it all. So I really think it's our year.
Well, I didn't have us beating the Braves. I ain't gonna hold you.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I thought what I said it as soon as we had the no hitter. The first thing I thought about was like, man, do we have enough to beat the Braves? And obviously we do. I think Harper said it best. Home field advantage is serious, especially when you come to the bank. It is tough to win here. I already looked at the numbers. Wheeler is 6-3 against Arizona, even going back to his days with the Mets. So 2-2 in his last last four starts against with the Phillies. But they are literally a mirror of us where we were last year.
Yeah.
Nobody had them coming here. They're coming in hot. They have not lost a game yet in the playoffs, which is kind of scary. The question is for me in this game, one, can Wheeler stay hot? Because he's been hot in his last two starts. I think a total of almost 20 Ks. And he's gone strong 6-7 innings. But the question is, can their bats keep up with our bats? Is really what my question is, right? Because I think there's a multiple people of hot. Real Mutu's hitting good. We already know Nick's hitting good. Bohm needs to kind of pick it up. Marsh has some timely hits as well. We already know who Harper is. Turner is still kind of not hot as he was, but he's still a threat, especially once he gets on base. I think the biggest takeaway that I saw from Atlanta is how fast we are on base when we get guys
Yeah.
on base. And then the X factor for me in this game is Schwarber. That's the X factor for me in this game. If Schwarber can get on base or do some damage early and make himself a threat, especially when the late guys, the Rojas and the Marshes get on base and he's coming back around for the top of the order, he could be a problem in this series. He's the one that to me that's been quiet. Rojas, I don't mind Rojas because I know he's a rookie and the spot is so big for him.
Well, him and
Right.
Marsh are fine. You know what you're getting out of those two, right?
Yeah. But I think Marsh is in there. I know we do the lefty righty type thing, how Topper's been doing, but I think that Marsh is such a huge his bat is such a huge upgrade over Cave and what's the other guy?
Yeah.
Was it Pache or Party?
Pache. Yeah, Christian Pache.
Yeah, over Pache. So I think his late bat, that's what made our lineup so great. We already knew we were top heavy, but once you got into the 7th, 8th, 9 hole, we still had bats, live bats that could do some damage. And then once it turns over to the top of the order, we're sending those boys home. And we got speed on the base too with those guys too. So I mean, is this a 7-game series? Yeah, it's 7 game. It's got to be a 7-game series. Yeah, 7-game series. Give me Phil's 4-2. Give me Phil's 4-2. 4-2 Phil's. We're back to the series. More likely against the Houston Astros, and I hope we bust their ass.
I feel like it's defense. Like we just have to. I feel like the Phillies are a lot like the Eagles, man. If we just play clean, no free outs, no free base runners from tossing it around. Don't walk bases loaded. Like I feel like if we can just play clean, we can win the series. But I'm with Diddy. Like, I mean, he follows baseball a little more. Like, if we have multiple errors, walks, and all of a sudden we let D-backs hang around, what I have noticed about them, they are a timely hitting team. Like, they might not hit a bunch of bombs, but, like, they'll hit and run. They'll run first to third. They play good defense. Like, they're fundamental.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Diddy.
Yeah, this is so it's two things. And one thing is that I think we played one of our best series we've ever played, and that's against the Braves. Besides game 2, and really we should have kind of closed that out if we managed a little bit better. I thought like left Alvarado in there for one more inning, then put in Hoffman. But I think they're really high on Hoffman. I'm not really high on Hoffman. I also thought we got a little lucky too by pulling Suarez in game 1, and we were able to kind of use our bullpen through 5, 6, 7 against a very, very hot team. But I also think the Braves got stuck with that bye, and I think you're starting to hear that conversation more and more in MLB that the bye is not a good spot that you want to be when you're taking days off before playing playing a baseball game, because baseball is all about rhythm, seeing the ball, and I think the Braves try to do everything they can do to try to keep that rhythm going. It just wasn't enough, especially when you're playing against a team like the Phillies that can bust you in your mouth at any time with our lineup. Now, that being said, Arizona won't be a walk in the park. I think people don't even know about Arizona a lot. They haven't talked about Arizona. Arizona backed in, like you said, Sharp and Nate. this team is a hot team, but they play really good baseball. Like you said, they hit for runs, they move opposition. I'm sorry, they move runners on base. They play solid defense, and they have about 3 good, strong players that you don't want to pitch to, no matter what the situation is. So this can be tough over the series. I think we beat the series this year. It was a tight
I believe
series. Every
so.
game was tight for the most
Yeah.
part, besides one. So I think we're 4-3 in the series this year for 2023. 5-4, 4-3. We had a blowout in 15-3, but every other game was a 1-point game. 1 point,
Yeah.
1 point game. So this won't be easy. I do think that the Philadelphia Phillies just have that energy. They're focused. When you listen to some of these guys like Castellanos answering in interviews, like, listen,
He
I
cracks
talked
me
to
up.
Philly.
you
He
got
is
8 more.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So I think these dudes are ready. I think they got that taste of the World Series last year. I think they understand how hard it is to get back in there right there. So I do like the Phillies here in a tight one, though, bro.
4-3.
I love your 4-2.
Going
I
4-3. Going 7
I think we might be going 7, and that crowd plays a big part in Game 7
for sure.
to get us
For
to
sure.
the championship. I think that's what it's going to be, because I think Arizona just has the pitchers. They have 2 aces
They
that can
do.
match up with Wheeler, and they can match up with Nola.
Nola.
They're just as
Yeah.
good. Merrill
Righty,
Kelly,
they got righties and left. Is their best pitcher is Gallo's a righty, isn't he?
Gallon is a right hand pitcher.
Gallon, I mean's a righty, yeah.
Yep. And then
Okay.
you have Merrill Kelly. I think they have Davies too, but I'm not sure if he's healthy or not. I got to double check. But just either or, those are the 2 ones that can kill us. So we'll see, man. I'm really excited for it, but it ain't gonna be a walk in the park. I know that. I hope
I
it
feel
is.
like what you said, like I feel like it's really going to come down to Schwarber. I feel like if Schwarber,
He's due.
if
He's
Schwarber, if everyone's doing what they're doing still, and then Schwarber gets going, like we're not going to lose. I firmly believe that. But if a couple guys come back to earth and Schwarber's still struggling, I agree with you. I could see this being a 7-game series. I'm with Nate. It really comes down to Schwarber. Like if this dude catches fire and everyone else is doing what they're doing, I don't know how a team beats us. I really don't.
And look to overs like this. The Atlanta series, I was heavy on the unders because I know that both teams are heavy on the big ball. Right? That don't always happen, especially in playoff baseball. But I think this series will be more hit and runs. It'll be more runs scored through singles, doubles versus the big run, big home run. So I think you're going to look on the betting side, look at some more of the totals, and looking on the over side.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. We'll drop some plays for that. We do bet baseball a lot, so we'll drop some plays for that.
Don, what up?
But come on, man, stop.
I'm glad somebody liked the show, man.
Yo, Don been with us forever, man.
Yeah, Don's been rocking with us for a couple of years, so
Don, man.
He's a good guy.
One day we got to have you on the
diehard
show,
Detroit
Don.
fan. Yeah, so but everybody who did join, like, comment, and stop by, appreciate it. We wanted to get this out. I feel better now. I feel better that it kind of came out and we had a conversation about it. For everybody who always have bang with us, make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification button. We'll be back for you guys on college football and NFL. It was a bloodbath this weekend, but we got to deal with it. We got to talk about it.
Diddy was right, man. Diddy was right. Should have listened. Man was right. He knew the trap game was coming. He was right. Got to give him his props. He was right.
I don't give him shit, man. Don't give him that prop. Don't hype him
Well,
up.
hey, it is what it is. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. When he's right, he's right. He was right this time.
Yeah,
I
feel
got a
you,
couple
man.
steak dinners on this Colorado under 5 and 6 wins. I got a lot of little steak dinners waiting to be
waiting to get going.
Yes, sir. And guess what I'll be wearing to the steak dinners? Those prime shades.
The shades. I got my primes in. My primes came in.
They coming this week for me, baby.
All right, fellas. Always appreciate you boys jumping on. We will catch you guys this week for more college football and NFL betting. This is Moss Money. That's C Sharp. That's B Diddy. We're out of here.
Ring that bell tomorrow, Phillies. Let's go.